Hello, it's Diana Marchand from dianamarchand.com, and I am standing outside once again in this gully, this really low part because it's really windy upstairs, up there. Up there. What I wanted to talk to you today about was kind of about how you see yourself and how that affects your body, your health, all of those types of things. And what I mean by that is, when I was growing up, I was always really, really thin. So I never had a weight problem or anything. I was thin, I was active, but I was always too skinny is really what I was. And then I remember getting pregnant. I was only close to 25. And at that time, that was the first time I ever experienced kind of gaining weight, right? So I gained weight around the midsection. I was one of those who got kind of round. My cheeks got really puffy. Still skinny legs. I gained all my weight in my midsection. And so that was the first time that I was kind of like, oh my God, this is so different being like heavier, what you could perceive as fat, even though you're pregnant, right? You still were bigger than you were used to being. But the thing is that I always had a vision of myself as a slim person, right? So that is so ingrained. And I remember after I had my baby, I remember thinking of myself, visioning myself on what I wanted to wear. So, of course, being pregnant, you don't wear belts and jeans. Of course, I was young. It was like the early 80s, mid 80s actually. So I was thinking of myself with jeans, a belt. I was thinking of myself in a small jean skirt, shorter jean skirt, wearing a t-shirt and a jean skirt. So I visually saw myself the way I wanted to be again. And I didn't even really realize I was doing that. For me, it was just like, I want to get back to the way I was. I don't like being this way. And of course, after you have a baby, you have a lot of, your belly's so loose and jelly. And it was just, I remember thinking, this is horrible. I cannot handle being like this. Because to me, it was not normal. So I went to the gym. I started walking a lot. I did everything I could. And I kept that vision in my head of exactly how I wanted myself to look like. So really, even back then, I was visioning it so clearly and moving towards what I wanted. And then, of course, in my mid-40s, when I started going through perimenopause and started gaining the weight in my midsection again, and at that time, I was a trainer and yoga instructor, very fit, very slim. And I started getting, once again, kind of like a muffin top, I started gaining weight in the midsection. I was like, oh, no, this is not happening. And then, of course, I read that, you could gain anywhere between 12 and 20 pounds during this midlife phase. And I'm like, what? That's not going to happen to me, because I did not identify myself as a heavier person. To me, I'm a smaller, slim person. But that's because I always have that belief and image of myself as being that in my head. Yeah, so to me, I just worked towards something I wanted to be. And once again, in perimenopause, I did every single thing I could. I kept imagining how I wanted to be. And I kept thinking, I wouldn't allow that bigger image, larger image of me, if I was to gain 12 or 20 pounds, I didn't let that stay in my head. I feared it. I kind of went, oh my God, that's not going to happen to me. But really what I did was, once again, I began looking at what can I do so that doesn't happen. I researched, read, did everything I could, went on bioidentical hormones. I started taking supplements. I did acupuncture. Because of the symptoms too. So yes, I was going through other uncomfortable symptoms that I really wanted help with, right? And I know it's not just about the weight. I was truly working towards getting healthier, right? Feeling my best. So when I was slim and really skinny when I was young, I knew that I didn't like that. So I worked out, I became more into bodybuilding so I could shape my body. So you see, no matter I thought I was too slim, too skinny. I wanted to shape my body. You see, so it's more about how are you going to feel your best. Doesn't matter if you're super slim, that does not mean you're healthy. It's about working towards a healthy image of yourself. What do you see yourself to be? Do you still imagine, some people, they say after they lose a lot of weight, they still see themselves as a heavier person. So what happens is they eventually get back to being that heavier person because it's a true image of who they believe they are. So that's just kind of what my message is, because I've always had this image of myself, strong image, and visualizing myself the way I wanted to be as in the physical body. I have always worked towards that. I didn't let anything else enter my mind, but it doesn't mean, it meant work, and I mean actually doing things to get myself there. So that's really important for you to remember. So what are you visualizing? What is the image of you have in your head? Where would you like to be? What would you like to do? How do you want to look? All that. Keep that image really strong, no matter if you have to do a vision board on it. Of course, it's not just weight. It has to do with health and everything else. So what is the vision you see of yourself now? What do you want it to be? If you don't like it the way it is right now, and work towards that. Are you doing that? And join my Facebook community where we help you work through all this at Women Creating Healthy Lives Full of Passion and Purpose. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.